Hey y'all, we are back and we have another grant. And when I say I am excited about this grant, if my business was established long enough, I would be applying. It is literally $60,000 and it takes less than 10 minutes to apply. If you get anything of value from this video, beginning, middle, and like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that good stuff. Make sure you tech. I'm so excited. Make sure you check out the small business grant playlist that is on this channel. There is a $500 grant, 20,000 investment, and I think a $2,000 grant as well. I don't know. There's a bunch of them. So make sure you check out the grant video. And if you would like to support the channel so I can continue to provide free content, please think about joining the Patreon. I do thorough grants in there. And with those grants, it's all of the grants that I don't put on YouTube, if you don't want to wait for me to post on YouTube. And then typically these grants, by the time I put them on YouTube, they've been in the Patreon for a couple of weeks. But more importantly, it's just about supporting the channel and this journey that I am on with YouTube. Now let's talk about this grant. Okay, listen. Not only is there a grand prize of $60,000, there's a second place prize of $40,000, third place, $20,000, 7 runner-ups, $5,000, and 50 just randomly selected applicants that are then determined to be eligible, obviously, $2,000. So even if you don't get the 60,000, which, one person is going to get it, I'll take $2,000 that I don't have to give back. I'll take 40, I'll take 20, I'll take all the free money that I do not have to give back. So this application, and it is so just you talking about your business and why you want to be a business owner or chose to be a business owner. And you just have to have that passion behind it. Now, your business must have been established prior to January 10th, 2022. So if you're after that date, you're not eligible, but it appears that this is an annual contract, an annual grant, y'all. I'm thinking lawyer contracts. This ain't that. This is an annual grant, I believe. So if you write this down, as I tell folks, if you're not eligible for some of these grants, write them down, because who knows, 6 months from now, a year from now, you might be eligible. And a lot of these grants are quarterly. Some of them are annual. They're not just, a one-off type thing. This is for the US only. So unfortunately, if you are outside the US, you are not eligible for this grant. Now I'm going to give you all the timeline, because I wrote down the timeline because it's a lot of dates to remember. March 1st through the 14th, that's when the finalists, the top 10, are going to be announced. Okay, so if after you've applied, you haven't heard anything by March the 14th, you didn't make it to the top 10, but you could still be in that hat for the 50. The deadline for this is February the 28th of this year, 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You got to be 18 years or older, legal resident of the US, and then you cannot have entered previously and won one entry per business. Okay, so if you have multiple businesses, then you can enter those businesses. However, I don't know how that's going to be looked upon, right? And I would predict that you would have similar passions behind the both of them. I don't know. Worst thing that can happen is you don't get it. But obviously, when they do the random selection for the 50 business owners to get $2,000, if your name is pulled twice, you're not going to get $4,000. You're going to get $2,000 because they want to share the wealth. Back to the rest of the timeline. On March the 14th, 50 potential winners, which would be the sweepstakes, they're selected, but you were not notified. So there's a difference between selection and being notified. So they'll have them all sitting there and they won't notify anybody just yet. For the 10 finalists, April 1st through April 10th will be public voting. So at that point, you're going to go on the website. Whoever gets the most votes will then be, selected first, second, third, and then the runner-ups. On May the 2nd is when the contest winners are notified. So on May the 2nd is when everybody is notified. May the 3rd is when confirmed winners are announced. So confirmed winners is, they're going to make sure that your application is yours, that it is truthful, that it's not fraudulent, that it doesn't infringe on anyone. So they're going to do all of that background due diligence before they publicly say, these are the winners. And that's going to happen on May the 3rd. And then here are the questions. Also, you have to make less than $5 million a year. And then you have to have less than 100 employees. So less than 100 employees, and then less than $5 million a year. Now the questions. This is something I want to talk about. I want to make sure that we talk about the theme first, and then we're going to go into the questions. So the theme is, and I'm going to read this word from word because the terms and conditions and rules were 15 pages long. Okay. When we get to this website and you see that there is nothing there, a lot of people that's applying is probably not even going to be eligible, mainly because they're not following the specifics of the rules that's not listed anywhere on that page. Now, the theme, you got to give them a photo. Photo is 10 megabytes, and then they want it to be high DPI. I don't know what that means. 300 is their preference. I don't know what that means either, but it is buried inside of the rules. So you want to provide something that helps illustrates the entrance ideas, thoughts, emotions on how small business ownership can be rewarding, challenging, liberating, a meaningful way to live out your dreams or play an important role in your community. Okay. And then now with the questions are, what's your small business story? So tell us, how did you get to where you are today with the small business? How are you making your dream a reality? So what is it that you're doing where I dreamed about this and it is happening? Or even if it's not happening in the manner that you dreamed of, you are consistently progressing to that reality that was once a dream. And then what motivates you? That's pretty straightforward. And then how do you make it happen every single day? There's a limit to words. And I always say, if there's a limit to the words, figure out which question do you want to put the bulk of that limitation to. And I found out how we're going to do this because they gave us different points on what we're going to be scored on. So what they're going to look at when they're judging you. So this is even after they selected the top 10, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be looking at this for everyone. So first and foremost, the appropriateness to the theme, which we just talked about the theme, and responding to all of the questions. So as a collective, how cohesive are your answers to the questions? That's 30 points. Demonstration of energy, enthusiasm, creativity, and passion for small businesses. That's 30 points. So again, this is you selling yourself. On top of that, your photo has to be aligned with your words. Like your photo has to then also show that enthusiasm and that passion and all of that. So that, back to it. Positive impact on or inspiration to other small businesses owners and or, y'all already know, community, 30 points. Okay? And then clear expression of your experience is 10 points. And then your photo, you need to make sure it's an original photo. You need to make sure that you're not plagiarizing. But then also when you're talking about the questions, another thing that they put, I'm going to say like in a parenthetical because it's not an actual question, but they also want you to relate to them your perseverance, creativity, your passion, impact, inspiration, all of that. But then again, they want that to be tied back to community. So I really need y'all to get out there, start giving back to the community, start making sure that you're making an impact, and make sure that your business is impactful to the community before you start applying, like, give me money, but I haven't done anything for anyone else, right? So it can't be about self, it has to be about community. I completely forgot, you also must have an EIN number. You have to have an EIN number on top of all of the other things, but with it being an established business, your LLC, if you're a corporation, whatever that is, making sure that you are completely set up. So they're like, oh, this is a legitimate business, right? You have a business bank account, you have all of your documents in order, whether it's an operating agreement, whether it's a partnership agreement, you have all of these things. And I don't know about this one. I know in one of the previous grant videos where we talked about investment opportunities, I was for certain that they're going to want a business plan. I don't know what they're going to ask for during their due diligence period. I will say, if you're selected, you must return any documents within 3 days. And a couple of these documents, one specifically is going to be an authorization of release in order for them to do a background check. So if you are not comfortable with them performing a background check on you, then I would not put yourself in the position to apply, because this applies even if you're in the raffle to win the $2,000. You'll have to release your social security number and any other sensitive and or confidential information to them. And I think, well, last but not least, you gotta pay taxes on this money. And they are gonna request a W-9 before they hand over the funds. So again, if you get, especially if you get the 60,000, but even if you get the 40,000 or the 20,000, please do not go and spend all of the money. And then when it's time to file your taxes, you owe Uncle Sam. Let me quickly share my screen for this less than 10 minutes, $60,000 that somebody is going to get. But remember, we can get $2,000. All right. As always, I'm going to Google. If you've got anything right now, like, share, comment, subscribe, leave me a comment if you have questions. Let me know if there's other grants you want me to look at, passive income ideas you want me to talk about. But this one is going to be Barkley, and it's Small Biz, Big Wins. Now look at this page, y'all. So you are all very welcome that I read 15 pages, because this is it. It says $60,000, and winning stories will receive one of 60 cash prizes starting at $2,000 with a grand prize of $60,000. Now, when you go to share your story, oh, they have a little countdown here too. So which I think is so helpful, because sometimes you're like, wait, was it Eastern time? Was it Central time? This lets you know you have 15 days at this time, 10 hours, 4 minutes, 18 seconds. So then you're gonna share your story. And yeah, this is all that is here. So all of what I just told y'all, if you went to this page and said, okay, let me put in my name, boom, company name, I started before this date, nature of my business, company website, my address, phone number, email address, my photo. Now it does tell you 10 megabytes, but I do not see this high DPI 300. Nope, not there. And then tell us how your small business is making your dream a reality, what motivates you, and how you make it happen every day. 500 words or less. They don't discuss the theme. They don't discuss the impact on community. They don't discuss perseverance. They don't discuss the point and the structure. They don't tell you any of this. There's no timeline. They don't tell you about the W-9. There is nothing here. So if you so happen to fall into this, you don't read the official rules, which I'm just going to click on it so you all can see that it is literally 15 pages of content. I read, so you all don't have to. But as I have always said, you should read the rules, because my interpretation of this can be completely different than how you interpret it, right? So definitely make sure you read those. But that's pretty much it, y'all. Like, literally, make sure your picture is high quality. Also, it cannot be a picture that has been published anywhere. When I say anywhere in the rules, they say they're meaning it can't be on Instagram. You can't take a picture that you put on Instagram or that you put on Facebook. It literally has to be a photo that no one in the world has ever seen. And again, $60,000, $40,000, $2,000 for 1 hour worth of work. I'm going to create a new unseen photo, because again, that photo has to essentially be an extension of what you wrote. So I should be able to read your answer, look at the picture and know exactly, oh, this picture is definitely showing me why they're a business owner, or what motivates them, or how they show up every day. This picture literally has to speak the words that you have written on the page and the application. This is why I say this is less than 10 minutes of an application. What would take the most time is reading the rules, which I always recommend that you all do. But if you got anything of value, beginning, middle, end, like, share, comment. I hope you all are just as excited as I am about y'all applying, because my business was not formed before January 10th of 2022. But I do have small business grant playlist you should check out. There is a passive income playlist that I've started as well. So if, it's probably one of 10,000 or more. I don't know how many applicants they're going to have. If grants are taking too long to get to you, I always say you do not quit though. If you need to do 20, 30, you do that. Do some passive income, whether it's an ebook, whether it's mobile homes, whether it's vending machines, whether it's the trucking industry, travel agent, real estate investor, all of those things, that can then be resources to fund your business while you wait on these grants, because I know you're going to get them. But thank you. Thank you for taking time to watch my video. Thank you for taking time out of your day just to spend a little time with me virtually. And I hope that you are having a beautiful day wherever you are, that you are located, period. I don't know what is going on with me and my words, but I will see you all next time, and enjoy.